What's going on, y'all? I'm here to talk about the buffs and changes I've made to Appletun in my ROM hack, Pokemon Scrambled Scarlet. If you're new here, shout out to you specifically who's new here and just clicked on this video. Don't click off, I very much appreciate you. Hopefully this type of thing is interesting to you. You know, if it is, you can sub to the channel. I'm trying to hit 2K at the time of uploading this. Yeah, I like, more people to see my work. I put a lot of effort and thought into everything, and it'd be really cool if you did. Make sure you guys all drop a comment, and of course, all my returning viewers, I love all you guys, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in. So, for Appletun, if you're new here, I, again, recommend you pause the video. I don't know why I said again, it's the first time I'm saying this in the video, but pause the video and give the description a read. There is a lot of very important links, but don't click off yet and check those links yet because it'll mess up the watch time. So check those out after this video is done. But I would recommend pausing and reading the description because I have bullet point lists kind of explaining my approach for balancing this ROM hack and how things are overall, just my approach for everything, right? It'll explain a lot of things, so definitely give that a read. Yeah, with that all being said, though, again, Google Sheet link down below. When you're done with the video, you can check it out. Most important thing on the Google Sheet is the move guide. Lots of important categories. All moves are reworked and overhauled. Yeah, lastly, Discord server, join my community. It's pretty cool. I'm trying to grow that as well. Yeah, with that being said, though, Appletun, very straightforward. I mean, well-baked body, it should have had that. I mean, it's a very cool ability. It's probably not a very original idea, but it's just too obvious not to give it to him. And of course, that's very unique. Dragon Grass that's immune to fire and gets a +2 defense boost after taking that fire move is great. In game, it's easy to bait moves, right? It's easy to bait a fire type move. Not to mention, if it's their strongest move, they'll be using that. Although the AI does have a habit of reading immunity abilities 50% of the time, so I'm not going to get into that here, but just know that that can cause some confusion with the AI. But overall, the most reliable way to trigger that is just to switch in on it. Beta fire type move and switch in. You get a +2 defense boost. That's great. Mostly it's just for the immunity though. Great utility. And then you got lingering aroma, which is fucking dope. Obviously very fitting. Unless you don't know. But Appletun, it's an apple pie, so that's already, like in the cartoons when the motherfuckers like are floating. They're like floating towards the fucking smell, like in the old cartoons. But yeah, as you can read, it's attracted by it attracts bug Pokemon, but it's sweet nectar. A nectarous scent wafts from its body, luring in bug Pokemon. They come along to lick the sweet nectar. So you get the point. Obviously, it's not like as scent-based as something like Lechonk or whatever it is, but Lingering Aroma is a really fucking good ability in this ROM hack, especially on a bulkier Pokemon, because of the fact that every Pokemon has 3 good abilities now. Being able to turn off any ability on contact is awesome. There are tons of boosting abilities in this game that the AI will be using, and if you especially, the most important ones are like Ruthless and Sharpness, right? Switch in on a Sharpness move, boom, Sharpness is gone. No more Sharpness. Now their damage output is neutered, and there's no crit risk with that. Meanwhile, something like I don't know, like Intimidate, crits right, that crits straight through, but turning off the ability itself is incredible. So that's the utility of Lingering Aroma on, such a physically bulky Pokemon. 115, 115, 115 all around is very, very fat. And then lastly, Appetite is the ability you'll be using most of the time because Well-Baked Body, again, it's situational. It's great, but it's one of those abilities you switch to when you need it. Same for Lingering Aroma, you switch to it when you need it. Meanwhile, will be often. I'm not saying it's like niche. It's a situational thing. Doesn't mean it's niche though. It's very good. Appetite is your all-purpose. It's also very a versatile ability. So the obvious use for Appetite is just stuff like Citrus Berry, right? You get double citrus. That's very good on something that's this bulky. You've got Leech Seed. They also have exclusive access to Protect. Protect is a limited distribution move now. And its variants. If you want to learn more about why that is, you can, again, when the video is done, I'll just put it on screen. You can pause and give this a read if you don't know why Protect is removed. But yeah, it's not removed, obviously, but why it's so limited. But in this case, this thing isn't doing any crazy fast sweeping. Technically, in theory, you could do like Appetite, Salackberry, Dragon Dance shit at the end of the game, but at that point, like, go off, Like, go off, man, you cooked a little bit, it's pretty cool. Because 30 base speed at +2 is not very good with, unless you get a plus speed nature, then it's pretty good in game. I'll do some calcs real quick. Yeah, you're hitting not even, yeah, you outspeed like base 85 Pokemon at +2. So with Salackberry and Appetite, again, Appetite is ripened, that was renamed to fit other Pokemon. In this case, Appletun fits Appetite fine. And it's this fat little guy, he fits Appetite enough, he eats stuff, like his decks are talking about like luring in bug Pokemon to praise on, so Appetite fits well enough, and again, he is fat, and of course, it's his signature ability normally. The other guys don't have Appetite. None of the other ones do, so that's also unique to Appletun. If you're curious about the buffs and changes to Flapple, Dipplin, and Hydrapple, you can check those out in their own videos or on the Google Sheet when you're done. Those are super, super awesome. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about them here, but all 3 of Appletun's evolutions, or 4 technically if you count Dipplin, have their own like use cases and reasons to be used. So I mean, they're all great. It's really up to whichever ones you like more, and your team members and your playstyle and all that other crap. So sorry, I'm just trying to fix the format, even though nobody probably even is watching the actual video itself. Let me know if you actually like sit and watch these. I know I wouldn't. Maybe at the beginning, but I feel like, well, especially if you're a returning viewer, you're probably just playing in the background, I would assume. Nothing wrong with that, by the way, especially because it's not like I'm showing too much. Although, I mean, at least at the beginning, I would obviously look, and then once you get an idea, you can, stop looking. Especially if you already know all the move changes and all that crap. But yeah, anyway, Appletun, Appetite. Also, I just noticed that's kind of funny. Appetite, Apple. That's pretty funny. That was not intentional. Now I can say it was. Pretend it's intentional. But yeah, Appetite, very, very good. I would say the best uses outside of, I mean, it's a bit of a crit magnet with this strategy, but it's still very, very good in game. Stuff like Moringa and Keyberry, right? Switching on any physical move, especially if it's one that you resist, you get +2 defense. Kind of like how Well-Baked Body gives you +2. You can switch in on physical move with Keyberry, you get +2 defense with Appetite, doubling that berry. Same for Moringa Berry and special attacks. You've also got some pinch berries you could try to abuse, and then later on in the game, level 50, which is honestly really early, really generous. I wanted to give it to them early because it's a really cool move, is Engorge. That gives you +1 defenses on top of eating your berry, which, again, the effects of your berry are doubled with Appetite, right? So you use Engorge, and then you can click, like, you can use Engorge plus, like, Select Berry and get +2 speed, and then you can do some speedy stuff if you want to try that. Again, if you've got plus speed nature, now you're actually outspeeding stuff at +2. Like a good amount. As you can see, you're hitting 324, which is, like, barely underspeeding 100, which is much, much better. On the AI, yeah, you're outspeeding base 97 and below, so that's great. Very, very useful. You can try that stuff. You've got, a good special attack stat, got good coverage, so you could try some cheesy stuff like that, although I would still probably use it defensively. Again, though, it is a bit of a crit magnet, so use it at your own risk. I think it's fine as long as you're not trying to like 6-0 with a bulky sweeper like this that doesn't have like battle armor or shell armor. If it doesn't and you're just trying to 1v1 1 or 2 Pokemon, I think it's a fair risk to take. You've also got Strength Stat, which is great, with Lingering Aroma or with, all your abilities, of course, but especially with Appetite, with giving you that extra bulk, you can run like Leech Seed, Strength Sap, whatever. And then obviously earlier in the game you have Molt. So instead of Recover, they have Molt because I gave it from Applin, because Applin is a little, what's it called, little worm guy. So Molt is really cool. It's bug type recover. It's the same thing as recover, literally the exact same move. It's just flavor. Yeah, Aromatic Mist is a great debuffing move as well. Again, a lot of his playstyle revolves around like either boosting his defenses or being, even then you can use it just like as like a bulky pivot, but he's got tons of great debuffing moves. Or even just like a bulky attacker, whatever. It depends on what you need for that boss fight, right? Some boss fights, maybe all you need bro to do is like switch in on a fire move, quick claw, blow something up, and then switch out, and that's all he does. But that's one situation out of literally infinite possible situations, so tons of ways you can apply these changes, Stockpile, Swallow. Swallow's not good. I couldn't buff it. I tried. It just doesn't work. It's hard-coded. But Stockpile, I mean, you could in some niche use cases of Swallow, but it's, yeah, not the easiest move to use. Spew Out's pretty great, though. That drops, but that actually, I keep changing it. I know it's crit, so for example, after one Stockpile boost, Spew Out is 150 base power, then it goes to 300, then it goes to 450, so that's great. So it's a very strong move. Yeah, poisons, okay. I was going to say, did I make it poison or drops Bidef, but I made it poison. Okay, so that's really nice. Obviously, Acid Reflux. Well, not obviously, but if you don't know what that does, it's -2 SPDF and it poisons, so that's great on a bulkier mon like this with Leech Seed, Acid Reflux, Siphon, Mega Drain, Giga Drain, all that stall-y crap. It's great, man. Really, really great stall mon. Again, that Protect with that Leech Seed, with the berry stuff, double berry. I mean, it's really, really fucking tanky. Stall machine for sure. Can do offensive things as well. I also give them Chloroblast really early on, so if you want to try some like Appetite, Select-Berry, Chloroblast shenanigans, because Chloroblast can knock you into Select-Berry range. I believe Select-Berry isn't like Berserk where you need to be hit. I think it's just if your HP falls to that range. I'm pretty sure. Somebody can correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure Pinch Berries don't matter if who knocks you into the HP range. So if I'm correct about that, then stuff like Chloroblast, even then, you can just Chloroblast, Quick Claw, and then take a hit, and then get your Select Barrier, and you get +2 speed, +1 special attack, and a nuke attack. You know, because Chloroblast is a very, very powerful attack on top of giving you +1 special attack now, so that's really cool. So yeah, great defensively, great offensively. Of course, even just simple things like bulky baton pass, you know, bulky pivot, eject pack Draco Meteor, eject pack Leaf Storm, all that type of stuff is obviously great. Body press, that's obviously great. You know, tons of great stally, fun ways you can build Appletun. Also, belch, you know, bulky belch sets are great to boost your special attack after getting an Appetite Berry. Appetite in general, I mean, it's such a fucking good ability in game, man. In competitive, it's less good, still good, but in game, man, which again is what this game is balanced around, it's such a versatile, useful ability. It has so many applications. I'd say the only real downside is that it does turn you into a crit magnet if you're running it with the key or a Moringa berry, but otherwise it's great. And even then, you know, if you're risking a couple crits, it's okay, but if you're like trying to stall out an entire team, then you're bound to, you know, get crit and die, which is not something I would recommend. But yeah, Aromatic Mist, as you can see, also is an exclusive debuffing move that's only for like smell-based mons. I think Appletun is smell-based enough to get it. It's an exclusive move, and it drops attack, special attack, and speed F by -2. So that's a fucking incredible debuffing move. And it's 2 PP, not even 1. So it's 2 PP. So you can do that twice to 2 different Pokemon. You can have their attack, have their special attack, have their offensive output, and their speed F. And that makes stalling them with stuff like Mega Drain and Giga Drain even easier. If you're wondering why I'm listing Mega Drain so much, by the way, it's because it heals by 75% HP and it's 60 base power, so it does heal more than Giga Drain, but of course it's weaker. So depending on the situation, you might want one or the other. We've also got stuff like Priority Leaf Flurry, which can be nice with like Acid Reflux, dropping speed F. You can like Acid Reflux, Bulky into a Leaf Flurry to finish them off after the speed F drop, for example. So yeah, great offensively, very, very good defensively, great utility, very versatile Pokemon, very fun to use. All of the Appletun evolutions are fucking sick. I love all 3 of them. I'd love to use all 3 of them. I think Hydrapple is still my favorite, and then Flapple is my second favorite, but that's just my personal preferences. And of course, I still love Appletun, and I would love to use them. And they have so many cool tools that they can take advantage of now. It's such a cool mon. So, and I love the buffs and changes I made to them. There's a couple more things I haven't touched on, but I trust that you guys can read and look into it on your own. Appreciate you guys listening to the end of the video. Let me know if you did make it to the end, and I'll be back for more coming up. Peace.